VPN, which stands for Virtual Private Network. We can't talk about VPN without knowing how the internet works. So let's start off with that. Let's start off with how the internet works. So if you pick up your laptop, go to www.facebook.com. What happens in between? So you pick up your laptop, you type www.facebook.com. What it does is it goes to the internet or different networks. And depending on the final destination, which in our case, facebook.com, depending on its final destination, it might go through different networks and finally get to its destination. So if you go to facebook.com, technically your machine is communicating with another machine on the other end. So facebook.com, the website, is hosted on another computer or clusters of computer or multiple computers for availability and redundancy. And this is how the regular internet works. So let's compare how the regular internet works versus our day-to-day travel. If you want to go to work, once you wake up, you get into your car and you drive, and depending on the destination, in this case, we are going to work, you might have to take different routes or different highways or different road to get to your destination. So it's the same thing. From your machine, in order for you to get to a different destination on the internet, which is, for example, facebook.com, you have to navigate different networks to get to facebook.com. So the networks that we go through on the internet, we can compare that to the highways or the road that we take or the route that we take on our day-to-day travel. And then now the facebook.com, which is the final destination, will now be, let's say, your work address. So there's three things here. We have the source from where the traffic is being initiated. We're talking about the internet now, day-to-day browsing of the internet. Your system or your machine or your computer, it can be your phone. So that'll be the source where the information is coming from. And then we have the different networks that your packet or your data or your information or the request pass through in order to get to its final destination, which is Facebook. Same thing, day-to-day traveling. You start off from home. Drive through different highways or different routes and get to your final destination, which is your workplace. So that is how it works. So we're going to compare VPN to our day-to-day traveling. So as mentioned, VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. And how we compared the network to the highways, the same thing. Basically, you have a private, let's say, private tunnel that you drive on all the way to your workplace. So you don't really take the regular highways. Remember, the regular highways, you have all sorts of drivers on the road. You have all sorts of trucks on the road. You have all sorts of cars on the road. So the same thing with the regular internet browsing. Your network competes, your packet or your information or your request compete with different traffic or different data before it gets to its final destination. Same thing with our regular traveling. Once you start from home, drive to the highway, the route that you take, you will meet different drivers, different cars, different trucks, and then you get to your final destination. But with VPN, Virtual Private Network, we can compare that to having a private tunnel from your house all the way to your workplace, or from your house all the way to a different destination. And that is VPN, your own private road or highway you don't share with anybody. So let's get some of the advantages that we can get using VPN. So if you are using VPN, like having your own private tunnel from your home to your workplace, first of all, you wouldn't have to deal with other drivers. You don't have to compete with other type of cars. You don't have to deal with traffic. Same concept. VPN, you have a tunnel or special route from your home machine all the way to the destination. So you don't have to compete with other data or traffic or requests that are on the internet. You don't have to face any traffic and all that. So that is it. If you are using a VPN, a few things occurs. First of all, or let's use the tunnel. So let's say you have a tunnel from your home all the way to your workplace. A few things happen. First of all, no one will know that you are in that specific tunnel. No one will know. All they will realize is you are at your workplace. The cameras that are on the road wouldn't see you. You have your own private connection or road from your house all the way to your workplace. No, so first of all, no one will see you. And the second thing that will happen is before they realize you are at work. Same thing as well, VPN. With VPN, no other traffic will see you on the internet. They might see that something is moving, or they will see that there's a tunnel, VPN, there's a tunnel, but then they wouldn't know what is inside the tunnel. But by the time they realize, you're already on the other end. So someone would ask, why do I need to use VPN? Or why would I have a private tunnel from my home all the way to my workplace, or all the way to a specific destination? Some countries only limit specific flights from specific countries. So let's say if you're in US, you can't travel to, or if you're in US, you can't travel to specific countries. Or if you're in North Korea, you might not be able to travel to specific countries. So the same concept. The traffic that we generate, or the website that we go to, on a daily basis, some of the websites will allow traffic from specific countries. So let's say if you're in China or probably North Korea, you wouldn't be able to browse websites on a specific country. So the same concept. If you want to travel to a specific country, what you can do is you can drive through your tunnel, let's say from the United States all the way to, let's say, Africa, that's Ghana. And then from there, you can take the flight to that specific location, because you can get a flight from that country to your final destination. So that's the concept. Some of the websites that is on the internet is not allowed or open to every single country. So if you are browsing or going to a website that they don't allow traffic from your country, you will be blocked. And our IP addresses that we have on our machines tells the country that we are coming from. So you can check your IP address and then just look it up online, and it will tell you that, hey, you are from the United States. So guess what? If the website doesn't allow people from the United States to connect to it, you wouldn't be connected. So VPN is a way of bypassing that. And also, it secures your connection. No one else will see what is going on with your traffic. So those are the two main advantages. So just to recap, we compared VPN to our regular day-to-day traveling, and basically compared the internet browsing to our day-to-day traveling. In order for you to get to a specific destination, you just get in your car, or probably take the bus or train, and then you maneuver the highway all the way to final destination, which will be your workplace. The same thing when you are browsing the internet, you start from your home machine, the computer that you are using, and then you navigate different networks to your final destination. Example, let's say Facebook.com. So that is the comparison. So with VPN, you are not competing with the regular highways that everyone else uses. With VPN, virtual private network, you are not using the same network like everyone else, or you are not using the road, the highway like everyone else. Right? You have your own specialized tunnel from your home all the way to the final destination. So that is VPN. So let's do a little demonstration about VPN. And then we cannot talk about VPN without giving a little overview of IP address. So IP address is basically your address, your computer's address. And it tells you, like, how if you tell someone that, hey, I live with this address or this home number, the street number, and then the zip code, the city, the state, and they can automatically know that, okay, you are in this city or you are in this specific country. The same concept. VPN IP address tells devices on the internet that, hey, this specific information that is coming from this specific country. So let's do this. If you want to know your IP address, and there are two types of IP address, you have the private and then the public, but we'll leave that for some other time. So let's talk about the public IP. That's the IP address that every machine on the internet sees. If you go to ipchicken.com, it will tell you what your IP address is. So in this case, it's telling me that my IP address is for 70.160.64.183. This will change because I have dynamic IP, so it might change later on. So let me copy this and then go to whois. So when you plug in an IP address into the whois website or the domain2s.com and press enter, it will tell you what country this specific IP address is. What country this specific IP address is coming from. So that is what most systems use to check where this traffic is coming from, so that they can place access control or place a control on traffic control on the IP, depending on what destination is coming or destination it's coming from. So now my IP address, this is my IP address. I plugged into whois, and it tells me that, hey, this IP address is coming from this specific country, United States. Okay. And when I go to Netflix, let's refresh Netflix. It tells you top movies in the US today. So based on what my IP address is telling me that, hey, these are the recommended movies for United States. But if my IP address changes, guess what? Netflix will assume that I'm coming from that specific IP. So now on this screen here, we have a VPN application. So now I'm going to change my country to say that I'm coming from a different country. And let's see how my IP chicken, my domain, whois domain2, and then Netflix will react to it. So let's come here. Let me go to locations. Yeah. And let's select Germany. Why not? Select that and it's connecting. It's connecting and connected. Right? So now let's go to IP chicken here and then do a refresh. I don't have the other IP address anymore. I have 142 IP address. So let's copy this and let's go to the whois domain2s. Plug that IP address in it and press enter. It's still loading. Let's give it a minute. Here, Germany, but I'm the United States. So now let's go to Netflix. Let's do a refresh on Netflix. And guess what? Top movies in Germany. But did you know that Netflix also filters the type of movie that you can view or you can see on your end, depending on the country that you're coming from? So if there's a specific movie that you really want to watch that is not available in the US, guess what? You can VPN into that specific country. So you can tunnel all the way to that country and then you can browse the internet from there. So let's go back. Let's change this. Let's go to location. Let's change it to let's come here. Let's scroll down and let's do Nigeria now. Nigeria, yes, connect. It's connecting, it's connecting, it's connecting. Connected. Let's go to IP chicken. Refresh, enter. I have 172 IP address. But let's copy the IP address, go to the whois domain2, plug that IP address in it, press enter, and let's give it a minute. And it's giving me this country. It's giving me this country. It's not really giving me Nigeria. Let's see. It's not really giving me Nigeria, but let's see. Let's press enter again. Yeah, so yeah, it's not giving me Nigeria, but then it's giving me a different Europe country. And I guess that is where the internet service provider is probably hosted. And then let's come here. Let's go to Netflix and press what? Refresh on that and see what we have. Let's go to, so it's not really giving me a country name, but that is fine. Let's try something else. Let's go to location again. And let's do Afghanistan. Why not? Press connected. Let's go to our IP chicken. Press enter. It tells you, so give me this IP address. Let's copy it and see. Go to the whois, press enter. It gives me Afghanistan. And let's go to Netflix and press enter. So it's giving me, it's not really giving me the country name. Let's go back to our location. Let's do Egypt. Connect to it. It's connecting. Let's go to IP chicken, press enter. It gives you a 45 IP address. Let's go to whois, plug that in, and let's see what country comes up. As it's saying United States. So I think it's because of how it's proxy. But let's see. Let's go to another. Let's take one more country and let's see. South Korea. Enter. It's connecting. It's connecting. Done. Let's go to IP chicken and verify our IP address. It gives us 108 IP address. Let's copy that IP address and plug into whois. Enter. So it's still giving us United States. So it's the reason why is because how the route is proxy. I don't think you can tunnel from here all the way to South Korea. So there has to be a proxy or a server that intercepts the traffic. So that's why we are seeing this. Let's go to location. Let's do one more. Yeah, let's do United Arab Emirates. Let's see. It's connecting. Press enter. Okay. Okay, it says 146 IP address. Let's copy that. Plug into whois. Enter. Yep, United Arab Emirates. Let's go to Netflix and then just refresh Netflix and let's see what it tells us. It's not giving us any country, but yeah. All right, so let me quit or disconnect, and that is all. That is all the demonstration for VPN. So in our day-to-day use, some of the websites you cannot get direct access to it if you are in a specific country. So the way you can bypass that is using VPN. And the next advantage is that your data or information that is traveling is encrypted, which means no one will see the data that you're sending back and forth.